result of the floods. So when the government says, yes, we're, putting measures in place to ensure that we bring succor to these people, to what extent should that be? Should that go? Is it enough to even the candidates of the different political parties who had to... I remember we had that conversation where we were asking, should they take the campaigns to the IDP camps and all that stuff? All right. So all those visits, it seems to have ended. How about now that they need help again? So that will be the conversation. So I would like to hear from you. That's it for on thoughts and opinions. We'll do that till about 4 p.m. and then the business news will take center stage. And afterwards, we will discuss the new national language policy. What works, actually? You recall now that the new national language policy stipulates that children should be taught in their mother tongue from primary 1 to 6. And I remember speaking to an educational expert, and he had some concerns, about that particular policy. He says, yeah, well, it's a good thing, but are we ready for this? Talking about even at the global level and looking at Nigeria, a multilingual country. If we start teaching people in their mother tongue, how is that going to benefit them in the larger world, beyond the four walls of Nigeria, or even beyond the four walls of the part of Nigeria where they went to school? All right. So, but I'm going to have an educationist who's also a public affairs analyst in the studio to help us really understand how this national language policy is going to help Nigeria. Okay, the significance of it, and of course the challenges that we should be expecting. I remember also the education minister, Mr. Adamu, he also mentioned that, yeah, there are challenges, but we have decided we're going to have to move on with this thing. All right. So Mr. Isaac Uwajuna will be in the studio for that conversation. And then it's going to last till 5 p.m. And then the news updates will come up, after which we will have that other conversation, something about the derivation funds. Remember, Governor Wike was more like, should I say, the one who came to announce that derivation funds were released, more like thanking the president for releasing the funds so that he was able to bless Port Harcourt with flyovers and some other infrastructural developments that has taken place, or that have taken place in Rivers State. And so the questions, started popping up again. People started asking, oh, interesting. So how about the other states? What have they done with theirs? And then this morning, SERAP is calling on the 9 governors of the Niger Delta states to disclose the spending. More like giving them an ultimatum, 7 days. Let us know how you spent the derivation funds. What did you do with your money? They didn't even announce that they had received it, let alone tell us what they have done with the money. So SERAP is asking them to do that. If not, they will be dragging them to court. And then I'm asking, should the state governors publicly explain how they spent the funds? Do we need that explanation? What difference would it make? Well, that will be the last conversation for today. It's going to last till 6. At 6 p.m., we have the major news. And of course, after the major news, it will be time for open season to take all your missed thoughts on the show. All right. And then 7 p.m., we'll be saying our goodbyes. Okay, so that's it. That's what's going to be happening on the show today. Welcome aboard. Remember now, you can join the conversation across social media. Get on Facebook. We're Nigeria Info 92.3 PH. And then, of course, you can also get on Instagram, Nigeria Info FM _ PH. And Twitter at Nigeria Info FM. And then you can send us messages via WhatsApp to 0809 030 6416. 0809 030 6416. And yes, before you start asking, Dayo is unavoidably absent, and that's why I'm here today. And hopefully, I really do hope that he'll be back tomorrow to take over. All right, just a quick break, and then when I return, we'll be talking about the flood victims and their lamentations. Do stay tuned. This is Hard Facts on 92.3 Nigeria Info.
There are times in life where we don't get to choose what family you're born into, how many hours we have in a day. Other times, you have a choice. What kind of company should I keep? Who should I marry? The man who can choose but refuses to is no better than the man who has no choice. I'm Sam Oracle Chinedu, here to remind you that your vote is your voice. Make a choice.
Have you picked up your PVC? Has it once again been put aside as a means of identification, or do you intend to use it? Are you paying attention to all the promises being made? Will you be swayed by ethnic, religious, or emotional sentiments? Let's pay attention. Let's make the right decision. Let's get involved. My name is Carl Orakwe. Let's vote in 2023.
The campaigns are on. Are you taking notes?
And no means of livelihood. There is nowhere to start. These are people that basically depend on farming, subsistence farming, and even commercial. But need seedlings and suckers for both plantain and banana. First time, we want to specifically call on. Then did this MEMA, and then the state government wish to call on these institutions to still do more.
All right, so there you have it. As one of the people who have made such call, and some of the, some of the flood victims also, they have spoken to us. I'm going to get you to listen to some of them. All right, so I'm asking, what should succor, when the government says we're bringing succor to people who are victims, should succor really entail?
Information is a two-way thing. Nigeria Info, it's your turn.
on your talk station. The conversation never ends.
Let the person walk, we will vote you. You see, the person doesn't have to even tell us to wait for the godfather to take him again.
You carry your file anything well. Who won't give it up?
But I mean, some people have succeeded.
Welcome back to the show now. It's 3:27 on the clock. So, when we talk about bringing succor to victims of disaster, what should that entail? Is it to bring them something that would, something for the moment, something temporary? For example, making available IDP camps for flood victims. And that was a good one. A lot of money was spent, time spent to ensure that these people had somewhere to sleep, had food to eat, right? Had even medical attention while they were there in those camps. But now that they are out of the camps, thank God the flood waters have reduced or receded, and so they can actually go back to their homes. But that's succor. Now that they have returned to their homes, wouldn't it be nice if they had these measures that were put in place while they were in the IDP camps, the palliative measures, extended to this time to ensure that they can restart their lives, or they can start their lives afresh? I remember watching on the TV some time ago, not quite long ago though, I think some of the people who were victims of Boko Haram attack in some parts of Borno also, or Bauchi, can't remember right now. But what I remember watching was that these people, the government they even had to get someone to design, a house or houses for them. And so they had houses for them, numbered the houses, and they got these people back into their communities, rebuilt communities. So they're moving from the IDP camps to a new home. And some of them were also, of course, trained in some skills. Now, you might say that, the issue of Boko Haram and insurgency is a bigger issue than this flood thing that just happened. The flood thing was just within a particular time. But the Boko Haram matter has been on for years. I mean, these guys, they've been away from their communities, away from their homes for years. So it's not the same thing. But let's not forget that finally, it is still the same issue of displacement. People were displaced from their homes. So the plan to help these people who the floods chased away from their homes, how come it wasn't extended to when they would return to their homes? So that's what I'm asking. Bringing succor to victims of whatever disaster, whatever issues. Should it just be temporary? And then you let them carry on after you have helped them in the IDP camp? So I want to get your thoughts and your opinions on this. Because that call from that young man is just one of the calls. So many other people had to also call on the government, call on good-spirited individuals and some other institutions to come to their aid, help them get back or get their lives back. All right, let's talk. The number to call is 070-0923-0923, 070-0923-0923. And then you can send a message via WhatsApp to 0809 030 6416, 0809 030 6416. And remember, when you're calling, remember, All right, we have a call screener. So when you call in, you get to talk to the call screener first, and then you'll be patched through so I can talk with you. All right? And let's do this. I also want to hear from you on WhatsApp. I already called out the number, so let's hear from you. This person on WhatsApp. Oh, okay. You're talking about PVC. Okay. I remember I started off with reminding you to go get your PVC so that you won't start screaming when 2023 comes. Okay? All right, 070-0923-0923. I have an Elvis calling. Elvis is calling from where now? Rumo Domaya. All right, Elvis, please go on.
Okay, thank you very much. Yes, on a very good day, this issue is not something that we really need to blow out of proportion. It's just a question of exhibiting the humanitarian spirit. We all knew what Davido did when he tasked Nigerians to donate to his cause, and he used the proceeds to fund the orphanage. Why can't we develop such similar status quo to fund these people that are just gotten back to their houses? We can help this. It's not everything we have to wait for the government. Yes, the government has a very big role to play. But Nigerians should also mop up the desired humanitarian spirit to help these guys. Otherwise, if we have to be waiting for the government, it will always be subjected to all these political games here and there, political parties coming in to chop up support from their various lands. Let's come out, create a special fund for them. Donate nationwide. They certainly have sons and daughters who are living large in other countries and other states. Let them come in and help their kinsmen, for crying out loud. Thank you very much. This is my take.
All right. Thank you very much for calling, Elvis. Interesting. So he says, let's have other people help out. Let's not wait for the government. All right. So as I said earlier, the other person who spoke and called on institutions like the NDDC, I think I heard him say NDDC, to come to the aid of these people who have now returned to their communities, right, after the floods. We also have someone, or had someone, who still called on the government, and that was a youth president in Engene community, Dunem Okenya. Now, he said, he's actually from our other West local government area of Rivers State, and he says that government support will be needed even more now. Take a listen to what he said.
As the water keeps receding, a lot is expected from the multinational company operating in the kingdom and the government at various levels. First, I will appeal to them to carry out a robust medical outreach in the area. I think this will help check the health condition of the flood victims. More so, the aspect of providing seedlings, starter packs to farmers, and a robust fumigation exercise should not be undermined.
All right, so he went beyond the call for them to, get back to the farming and all that, and he talked about their health. So while they were in the IDP camps, they had the medical team come visit them and, provide the medical care they required. So now that they have gone back, and I like the part where he talked about, what's that thing called? More like ensuring that the place is it using pesticide or something? Fumigated. Yeah, fumigation. Mentioned that as well. So with floods, you have the likes of reptiles. Yeah, moving about. So they could be hiding in people's homes. They could be hiding anywhere. So these people are also, they might be victims of yet another attack. Right? And then, of course, the houses as well. Talking about their health. What's the state of the houses? Can they return to such houses and actually live there? We have Oliver from Rumodumaya. Hello, Oliver.
Yeah, good evening, sister.
Good afternoon. You're welcome. Please go on.
Yeah. It's a pity that one is born into this country called Nigeria with due apology.
Now, you already said that and you're apologizing.
That will want to live outside his home. Unfortunately, the flood came. The government, yes, came in and they did their best, what they call their best. But can you give birth to a child because you have given birth to him, then you allow him to grow on the street? These are people who are forced out of their homes. And you know that one day the water will recede and they will be required to go home. Can't we make small plans towards that, or do we wait until they start crying all over the whole place? And that is why Nigeria, with due apology, is not going forward. People are not thinking outside the box. They wait until it becomes everybody's cry before you will now come up. Individuals will now begin to think. The moment that flood triggered off into these various communities, that is the time the solution towards the end should have been coming, not now. No medicals, no living accommodation. If you go to your house with red dyes all over, have you returned to a home? No, now we should be God-minded people. God does not create you and throw you into the street and say grow. No, He made the garden and say keep this garden and maintain it. Why do we leave people like this?
Okay, thank you very much for calling. Well, I have a message here on WhatsApp, and this person says, "Good day, Constance. I agree with a previous caller who said the matter shouldn't be left for the government alone. This is the time for the various NGOs we have to show that they care. Pro bono. In the US, we have the Samaritan Purse, run by Franklin Graham. As soon as there is a situation, you see them getting help to the area, irrespective of the regional country. All our NGOs are... Oh, come on. You can't say that they are political NGOs. And you say that, let's show empathy. All right. Nigerians are displaced. We are on the streets daily. Constance. Hungry, they beat me and my people now as they type this message. They should inform us on the streets when the humanitarians start sharing." All right. So I'm still asking, when we talk about bringing succor to people who have been victims of any form of disaster, what should it be? Just like the last caller who said, the moment the floods got to the point it got to, and we declared now there's an emergency in our country, that's when we would have started planning for after the floods. Because if you get them help, pull them out of their homes so that they don't die, the floods will not meet them there and, they get drowned and all that. You get them out, get them to the IDP camps to, ensure that they are fine within the period, right? While we watch the floods go down. While they are there in the IDP camps, then as we're setting up the committee, the group, taking care of the people in the IDP camp, at that point in time, that was also a time to set up a committee, or let this committee know that your job for IDPs, once it ends, you have another one. And this other one is this. This is going to run for like maybe 1 month or 3 weeks or 2 months. I don't know the length of time it will take to ensure that these people go back to livable homes. So you don't send people out of the IDP camps. Oh, the floods have receded. And then they're going back to a place that they can't really live. They start having to make the home homely, all by themselves. So when we're thinking succor, when we're thinking bringing help to people, it shouldn't just be for the immediate. We should be thinking ahead, right? We're making medicals available for them in the IDP camps. Great stuff, because, oh my goodness, Nobody wants to live in an IDP camp. Live with a whole lot of other people. Crowded environments. Diseases are bound to break out. The discomfort alone is enough to make someone sick. So the medicals were made available while they were there. But was there an assessment? We had they're assessing to know the number of people in the IDP camps, know the kind of help they would require and all that stuff. Fantastic. But did we also have another assessment? Have another team or the same team move to these communities as the waters are receding. We're moving from one community to another to assess the situation, to know what kind of help the people in this community would require as they are coming back. Their farmlands, how will they be able to come back to farming? How many of them are farmers actually? So these are some of the stuff that I think we should be talking about, because everybody, even the media, we were all screaming and talking about how the floods are here, how the people need help, how we're all focused on the now, and we weren't really thinking about later. Now later is here staring us in the face, and people are screaming again. We need government intervention. We need intervention from good-spirited Nigerians. And just as that guy mentioned, fumigation is another aspect that must be looked into. I don't think it was proper to have allowed them leave the IDP camps without a fumigation of some sort going on all over those communities that the floods ravaged. Yeah. There are houses that should have also been checked. Can people still live here? Is this still habitable? Should we bring down this structure and put up something else? So these are some of the measures that should actually be put in place. Remember, it's thoughts and opinions. So I'm still taking your thoughts. So let's hear from you. The number again is 070-0923-0923. 070-0923-0923. And then for your messages, you can send them to 0809-030-6416. 0809-030-6416. So we're discussing the calls by flood victims on government and good-spirited Nigerians to help them start life afresh. What do you think these guys would need right now? Maybe there are things I have not been able to mention, and there are things you have observed and you think they will need. Newton Ikire on Facebook says, "Good day, Constance. I agree with the previous caller who said the matter shouldn't be left for the government alone." All right, I already read this on WhatsApp, so you sent it on WhatsApp as well. All right, thank you very much, Newton. 070-0923-0923. Zero 0923-0923. And then, of course, we'll take your messages via WhatsApp 0809-030-6416. Good afternoon, presenter. There is no culture of taking care of the most vulnerable in the southern states. Southern states, through their governors, can help northern states to solve civil problems like displacement from Boko Haram, flooding, market fires, etc. Take example from the COVID-19 era. Our people were not adequately taken care of. Last week, I saw people trying to fumigate some areas in Bogo, in Ogba, Egbeman, the local government area. What I don't know is who championed it. It's really discouraging that government and other relevant agencies are not interested in the welfare of the people, the well-meaning individuals, and God will strengthen them. Okoroma Godwin Chooks from Erema community. Oh, wow. Thank you for sharing this with us. about the fumigation in some areas in Ogba, Egbema, Ndoni local government area. So the work of NEMA, does it stop within, the emergency situation, has it ended? Really? They're still in an emergency situation. It is still an emergency. Returning them to their homes, that's what I think is the end of the emergency. If they are still needing help to go back home, to really start life afresh, then it's still an emergency. Removing them from the IDP camps and saying, yeah, goodbye, have yourself a nice life as you get back in there, the Lord be with you, adios, may the floods not come back again. It's not enough. And someone here is asking, what about the 1 billion naira released by the state government? How was the money spent? Damiete Erekosima is asking. Oh, well. It's part of the conversation we'll be having later on today. Not necessarily about this particular money, but that thing about explaining how money was spent so that the public can actually say, oh, okay, we understand. So that means this amount went into this, and we can actually see that really that's what it went into. Accountability. 070-0923-0923. 070-0923-0923. Remember, I'm seeing people calling in and dropping the calls. We have a call screener, okay? Don't get confused when you call in and you hear another person's voice. That's how we run it here. We have a call screener. So speak to the call screener first. You definitely get to talk to me. All right? But speak to the call screener first. Thank you. And then get on Facebook and drop a comment there. Nigeria Info 92.3 PH. And you can also tweet at Nigeria Info PH. So please stop hanging up. Let the call screener speak with you first. All right? You might as well send a message via WhatsApp to 0809 030 6416. 0809 030 6416. So the flood victims in Rivers State, they're lamenting that it's a struggle to start life afresh. So they need the government to come to their aid. And some persons have said, let's not just keep calling on the government. How about other people? So every other person should also be coming to their aid, not just the government. Now, I'm trying to get the bigger reports that we did. I'm trying to find it where we had some farmers speak to our correspondents. I've been searching here. I don't know why I'm finding it hard to find it. So that we can actually get to hear from the farmers themselves. They actually really said something about, how it is affecting them. Okay, so I'm still waiting to hear from you. But remember, as I said, we have a call screener, so you have to speak to the call screener first before you actually get to speak with me. Okay. All right. Good afternoon. My name is Derek from Borokiri. I'm so concerned about how the government, Nigerian government, spent billions of naira for election, not minding the welfare of these victims, rather encouraging them to come out and vote for their candidates. Thank you. Are you talking about which election now? The elections will be happening next year. Or are you talking about the campaigns? Is that what you mean? Then it's not the Nigerian government, then. It's the political parties. If that's what you're referring to, the political parties. Not necessarily the Nigerian government. Because the elections, that's coming up next year, not now. We've not had the elections yet. But if you're saying that they're spending so much money on campaigns and urging people to ensure they vote for them next year, they should rather be focusing as well on how to ensure that life is okay, good for these people. Reminds me now of those of them who took their campaigns to the IDP camps, even to some of the flooded areas. Some of the presidential candidates, governorship candidates, they were moving about, going from one area to the other to sympathize with the people, bring them some palliatives. So now that it is time for them to start their lives afresh, where is everybody? All right, so it's thoughts and opinions on Hard Facts. 070-0923-0923. And then send me those messages on WhatsApp or via SMS to 0809-030-6416. 0809-030-6416. All right, I have commercials coming up in a bit, but we have about 30 seconds or so before the commercials. And then after the commercials, we'll have the news. That's the business news at 4 p.m., after which we will get to talk about the new national language policy, which stipulates that children should be taught in their mother tongue until primary 6, right? Yeah, exactly. So I'm expecting to have an educationist for that conversation. All right, do stay tuned. I'll be right back.